I've been playing basketball for a long time. Ever since I was just about a 5-year-old kid. We were there at the park every day playing. I'm a lot bigger now and on my way to New York for the Rookie Showcase. Alright, let's get into the jump. I am an athletic point guard. So first points in the Rookie Showcase. Coming quick. And there is not going to make that. I'm over here in the corner. Dump it off to me. Come on. Yeah. Miss. Uh-oh, I'm on the fast break. Slamming in their faces. One thing I like about the athletic point guards is you can dunk as, you can dunk as soon as you, like in the Rookie Showcase. If you're not an athletic point guard, if you're something else, like all around, or look at this right here. Shoot it, this guy just reverses it and puts it up behind your head. But anyway, if you're anything besides athletic, you can't dunk until you get a little bit better at your dunk. But if you're an athletic point guard, you can dunk right away. Well, here I'm going to dish it off to him. Pump fake and get it in. Give me an assist. Oh, stolen. Uh-oh, wide open. So, yeah, we're doing a new NBA 2K12 My Player. And now let's go into halftime. I've got 4 stars, but I'm only at neutral, so I need to work on some stuff a little bit. I'm doing pretty good though. So let's get into the second half. I get an and one. That was a great play.
Takes a lot of strength to finish a shot through contact like that. He can't complete the 3.
Now, what I was going to do is, I was debating on whether to do a small forward or a point guard. I just seem slamming their faces once again. So, I decided to do a point guard because I was going to do a small forward once my first couple of seasons were over with the Houston Rockets, but since the file was corrupted, quote, and I only got to spend one season, I'm going to do a point guard. If I kept going with the other point guard, then I would have done a small forward. So I'll do a small forward after this point guard. Now, my last point guard was all around, not athletic. Didn't like very well because my speed was low. Come on, come on. I make both? I think I made both. I wasn't really paying attention. So get inside for the layup. That is one thing. When you're a 6'1" point guard, or 6'2", I mean, it's a lot harder to drive to the inside when you're that short. So I'm 6'3".
Al Foster.
There's this one guy I saw on YouTube. He's a 6'7" point guard. If you want to check that out, I think it's like XXLJ something. I don't know. It's in the description. But yeah, his is 6'7", and that's kind of crazy. Drawing is inside, and I draw a block and a foul, so now I'm going to shoot 2 free throws. There, I'm going to make that. So I get to some player, I don't know his name, for the assist. So there's the end of the game. So 137 387 skill points. Great performance, but we lost. Now let's go into the interviews, and I'm going to be interviewed by the Jazz, the Rockets, and the Bucks. I don't want to go to any of them except for the Bucks. So let's just listen.
Before I can give my blessing to use our draft pick on you, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions, to make sure you fit in with what we do here. I really think the first piece to getting this franchise back on track is to find and develop our point guard of the future. The point is the one position that can really make or break a team and change the overall direction of the franchise. Looking back at the Hornets, look at what Chris Paul did for that team. We want a point guard who will do the same for us, and we think you might be that guy. Convince us of that.
Yeah, honestly, I think this team's just too raw. I feel like if I came to Salt Lake City, it would be the me show. I need to have some experienced vets around to help me grow and to help me win. I just don't see that happening here in Utah. Sorry.
All right, then, one more. We realize that here in Utah, we don't have the appeal of a Los Angeles or New York or Chicago. We tend to look for players who would be proud to be part of this organization. Someone who can really take pride in being a member of the Utah Jazz. Someone who's willing to spend their entire career as a member of the Utah Jazz. Are you that person?
To be honest, I'm a big city kind of guy. I don't think Salt Lake City has the type of vibe I'm looking for. You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys have a great organization and a great fan base. It's just not for me. That cool?
I appreciate your honesty answering my questions. Best of luck to you in the draft.
Nice job out there tonight. Your play really impressed us. So much so that we're considering using our pick on you if you're available when our turn comes up. Before we get that far, we'd really like to ask you a couple of questions. Question number one. I feel like we have our point guard of the future in Brandon Jennings, but I would be remiss to not look at all available options in the draft. How do you think you compare to Brandon?
I think Brandon's a great player and someone I look up to. I really think we could learn a lot from each other, and ultimately it would help us both to become better players. How that works with your roster, well, I guess that's for you to figure out.
Let's see, one more question, if you don't mind. Talk about what you have to improve on as you make the jump to the next level. We'd like to see what you think about your game as a whole.
Primarily my focus and being mentally tough. I need to study the game and watch the players in front of me and learn. I also need to learn from the veteran guys so I can step in and contribute when my name is called.
Thanks so much for your time. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but we would be ecstatic if you're still on board when it's our turn to pick.
Greetings. I'm the GM and Director of Player Personnel for the Rockets. In addition to the 14th pick, we also have the 23rd pick in the upcoming draft, and are looking at you with one of those picks. We'd like to get to know you better by asking you a couple of questions. Let's get to it. As a younger team, I feel like we have a lot of opportunities for you. I'm here to tell you you have a chance to be our franchise centerpiece if you put in the work. How many other teams can offer you that? That being said, we still have a couple years ahead of us where we're going to be acquiring young talent and assets. We might struggle a bit in those years. Are you going to be able to remain focused during the rebuilding years?
I'll keep this short and sweet. All I do is win, but I don't really see that opportunity right now in Houston. I know you have Kmart and Luis Scola and all, but sorry, I'm just not interested in losing.
Interesting. Next question. This is a question we ask all our potential draftees, and I want you to answer it as honestly as possible. Where do you see your career going? What do you hope to achieve out of your career? Ultimately, what do you want your legacy to be?
Me? I want to be the greatest of all time. If anyone answers you differently, well, they're either lying to you or they don't have the competitive fire to be great. I don't want to be great. I want to be the greatest. I want rings. I want MVP awards. All of those accolades. I want people to talk about me 50 years from now, and they will. Just watch, man. I've got the fire. I've got the drive, and you know what? I'm ready.
Well, I can see that we are not a match, unfortunately. Good luck to you on draft night.
So now we go into the NBA draft. When we look at the predictions, they're predicted to be, or go to the Utah Jazz, which I'm not very happy about, but you know what? A lot of times it doesn't really turn out like that. So let's see who I get picked.
That has made its way to the NBA. Their dedication and hard work and that of their families has paid off, and this moment is the next step in their promising young careers. It is also a time of extraordinary optimism and hope for the fans of our teams as they look for yet additional great players to make their teams better. The selections that are made tonight will be viewed by millions of NBA fans around the world in more than 200 countries as they make their way to become NBA players. Everyone is ready, so let's get started. With the 10th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select the 19-year-old point guard from the Ohio State University.
So I do get drafted to the Milwaukee Bucks, which I was really happy about. And, of course, the guy doesn't even say my name, just a 19-year-old point guard from the Ohio State University, but whatever. So now let's go to contract negotiations. It's really not much of a negotiation because I have no say on it. So, because of where I was drafted. So I got the 10th pick. That was good. But 2 years, $1.92 million. The future has arrived. Now, let's check the roster real quick. I'd like to see who's on there. Andrew Bogut, Stephen Jackson, and Brandon Jennings for point. So that's pretty much it, and see you guys.